So in continuation of the previous video, children, now let us try to understand. Suppose we have a polynomial in which a variable is x. So we write that this is a function of x. That means the value of x square minus 9x plus 20 depends on the value of x. So we can get different, that is why x is called variable, because suppose I put x is equal to 1 over there. So I will get some value, and if I put x is equal to 2, I will get a different value. If I get x is equal to 0, I will get 20 over there, so on. So that means that is why this algebraic expressions are also in that the alphabets are called variables. Now let us proceed with some numerical which we do with using this knowledge of polynomials. Suppose they are telling find out P2, that means find out the evaluate this, putting this means to find out P2 means instead of x, wherever there is x you have to put 2. So 2 square minus 9 into 2 plus 20. So this will be 4 minus 18 plus 20. So this will be 24 minus 18, that is equal to 6. So we get the value same way. If I put P is equal to 1, P1. So 1 square minus 9 into 1 plus 20. That means 21 minus 9, that is how much? 12. Like that. Then we get P4. So 1 over here we put as P4. So P4, let us try. 4 square minus 9 for the 36 plus 20. So 16 plus 20, 36 minus 36 is equal to a 0. Alright, so we get this. So that means we get the value over here. So we get, when we put P is equal to 4, then the value of the whole algebraic expression or the polynomial becomes 0. So 4 is said to be a 0 of this algebraic polynomial. So 0 for polynomial means what? That value of the variable which when kept in the polynomial will give a value 0, a total value 0. But there is a difference between 0 and P0. If we say P0, now try to understand, that means wherever there is x we have to put 0. So we get an answer 20. So if they tell find out the 0, that means you have to search for a value which when kept in the variable will give you the answer 0. But if they say P0 evaluate, that means instead of the variable you have to put, instead of x or a whatever it is, you have to put a 0. So same way, now let us try this one, find out the zeros of this polynomial. What is the 0 of this polynomial? See, you have to sometimes you can work out mentally that what should I place in over here so that this whole thing becomes 0. So obviously there is a minus 4, there should be a plus 4. So what will be the value of x, which when we keep then it becomes 0, it is 2. So 2 is the 0 of this particular polynomial. 2 to the 4 minus 4 is 0. Now this one, let us try to find out. This will be, if I put minus 2, minus 10 plus 10 will be a 0, so minus 2. Now here we have to see, just now I can just give you the answer. Here we have to put 3 or 2. If I put 3, 3 square is 9, 9 and 6, 15 and 5, 3 is 15. So I can get 3, or let me try to put 2. 2 square, 4 plus 6 and 5 2 is 10. So 6 plus 4 is 10 and 10 minus 10. So that means there are 2 zeros. Now this is mental working out, but there must be a method of it which we will discuss. But one thing is for very sure, whatever be the degree of any polynomial, it will contain a maximum of that many 0. A linear polynomial has got degree 1, so it has got only 1 0 maximum. It may not have a 0. It may not have a 0. That means it may not have a 0, that means it may not have any real value for which the whole thing becomes 0. Later on we will see what is the meaning of not having a 0. in terms of real numbers. And then you try to see the next one. So we have understood there is a quadratic equation, its degree is 2, so it is containing a maximum of 2 zeros. It may have 2 zeros, it may have 1 zero, it may not have a real zero. We will work it out in our coming discussions. So have you understood this? Now suppose, so you have understood what is the value of, what is the difference. This you have to really get into your mind. Like P0 means wherever there is x, I put a 0. So here the answer is 3. So for when they ask you P0, that means what is the overall value of the whole polynomial when you place 0 instead of the variable. But suppose they ask you Px is equal to 0, that means they are telling you to find out what is the value of x for which this whole thing will be 0. So there is a nice method to work at. You have done factorization, you have done splitting the middle term. So just solve this equation by factorization. So what you will get, x square minus 3x minus x plus 3 is equal to 0. X square, so I take x common, x minus 3, I take minus 1 common, x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x minus 1 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now here only you look, what should I place over here instead of x, that this whole thing becomes 0. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So 1 of the answer will be 1, and I can go this way, then I have to place 3. So there are 2 zeros. As I said in the beginning, that quadratic equation will have a maximum of 2 zeros. We get 2 zeros. Alright. So that means you know how to find a 0. You have to find out Px is 0. So that means 5x plus 15 is equal to 0. 5x is equal to minus 15. X is equal to minus 3. You can solve. So this is the 4a solution. Now 4b solution, let us see. 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 8. 2x is equal to 8. Let us put it this way. Then x is equal to 4. Now suppose we have a quadratic polynomial. X square minus, so I have to find out mx is equal to, see, x square minus 12x plus 32. X square minus 8x minus 4x plus 32. X minus 8 minus 4x minus 8. X minus 8, x minus 4. Now this should be 0 when? If you put x is equal to 8 then, or if you put x is equal to 4 then. So you get the zeros of this. So I think so you have nicely understood this part. So most important part, you have understood that what is the difference between P0 and the 0 of a polynomial. If they say what is the meaning of 0 of a polynomial, you say that value of the variable which when kept in the polynomial will give the whole value as 0. Let us try to find out 4. So 4 square, how much is 4 square? Let us check. 4 square is 16 minus 48 plus 32, that is 48 minus 48 is equal to 0. Same way let us check 8. 64 96 plus 32. So this is also 96 minus 96 is equal to 0. Sometimes they can ask you, they can give you a 0 and they say that now find out the value of the unknown if this is a 0. Say for example, find the value of k if 4 is a 0 of x square minus 7x minus ax plus 12. So 4 is a 0 means if you place 4 over here, the whole thing becomes 0. So we can solve 4 square minus 4a plus 12. That means you are putting 4 instead of the variable. So 16 minus 16 plus 12 minus 4a is equal to 0. So 4a will be equal to a will be equal to 7. So that means the value of a is 7. Why did I put 4 instead of x? Because you should always sit down at home and say the 0 of a polynomial is that value of the polynomial which when kept in the polynomial will make the whole thing 0. So they have given 4 is a 0 of this polynomial, they have confirmed. That means if I place 4 instead of x everywhere, then the whole thing becomes 0 and then we solve.